In today's episode, we're talking about expecting miracles. Why is it important? Let's find out. Welcome. This is Gull, your money mindset expert. And today we're talking about expecting miracles. Now, this is probably one of the most important aspects of the manifesting process. It doesn't matter if you come from the New Age thought, the secular thought, the universe, talk about, divine insights, talk about God, you talk about the universe and so forth. It doesn't matter how you approach manifesting from a religious standpoint or from the secular, more new modern day, New Age standpoint. Expecting miracles is really important part. Why? Because expecting miracles requires faith. Let me repeat that. Expecting miracles requires a lot of faith. Why? Because you need to expect something without any evidence of it even remotely showing up. And I heard this story recently, which really struck my heart. And I thought, what a brilliant example. And I want to share with you guys. And it was a story of the eagle. Now, and it compared that to the story of, when we have a child. So I was thinking of my pregnancy, or both my pregnancies when I was about to have my baby. So if you talk about, humans or the normal way, right? When we as humans become pregnant and we are expecting a child, from week about, I think, 10 or 11 onwards, and sometimes 16 onwards, you kind of begin to understand there's a baby in there, right? Even before that, you can go for a scan, you can see the baby growing and you can hear the heartbeat and so forth. So when you have that aspect, it's very easy to understand and believe you have a baby coming, right? It's a baby coming. You may have other hang-ups about it, but that's a different story. There's evidence of the fact that there's a baby there. And from 16-week onwards, and sometimes even earlier, from second pregnancy onwards, you can feel the baby kick, you can feel the baby move. And as in my case with my first child, my God, she loved to go and sit on my spine, which made me shriek with pain. Oh my God. Anyhow, so when you're, as humans, when we're expecting babies, we have, first of all, we have the scans and everything else, and we prove the baby on the way. And then, of course, later on, you can actually physically feel the movements inside your stomach, inside your belly. So you can feel the baby coming, right? Now, so it doesn't require much faith. You can see the evidence of the baby growing and the baby coming as your stomach grows and so forth. Now, compare this to an eagle. With an eagle, the eagle lays her egg, and then she sits on it for 35 days. Now, during those 35 days, not once does she hear a crack or a crickle. Oh, she's allowed to move. She has to sit there for 35 days. She could be out there gallivanting, flying the skies and enjoying her life, but without any evidence to show the fact that there is a baby coming, there's a baby growing in this egg, and the fact that it is coming. She just sits there in faith, in total faith. And after 35 days, does it crack through and the baby comes out, right? But for the entire duration of those 35 days, there is absolutely no evidence for that eagle to know that there's a baby coming. But she sits there day in, day out, keeping it warm and making sure and holding on to the faith that I have a baby coming, I have a baby coming, I have a baby coming. So if you think of it that way, an eagle requires a lot more faith in order for her to have a baby compared to us as humans, right? We see the scans, and then afterwards we feel the kicks, and we know there's a baby on the way. Most likely, sometimes you think maybe a footballer sitting the side of the kicks, right? But the thing is, it doesn't require that much faith, does it? Because there's evidence for it. Same things go when it comes to your manifestations. Now, there are certain things where we can see evidence of it, right? When we have our health issues and we get this report saying that our health is bad, and then we get a second report saying, well, there seems to be improvement because we dietary change or exercise routine or whatever else. We can see evidence of the improvement. Even though we haven't fully recovered, we can see evidence of it, right? But there are other times when you don't see evidence of the improvement. Again, let's come on to your finances, being the money mindset podcast. Let's talk about finances, which is, I think, relevant to everybody here. A lot of the times when you are working at something and you're working really hard and you're holding on to the faith that this is going to work, sometimes things just don't work in the way that you expect them to. However, if you are expecting miracles and you hold on to faith, you hold on to the fact that divine energy is going to come and help you supernaturally, or is going to, give you everything that you need, then you don't get into despair. You carry on holding on to faith. There are two sides of the same coin, faith and fear. At every given moment in time, you can lean into faith, you can lean into fear. Now, the enemy, the devil, the dark side, whatever you want to name it, the shadow side, whatever name terminology you want to give it, that will have you convinced that this is not happening. It's never happened in the past, especially if it's something unique and something different that you haven't experienced before. This is never going to happen. You should give up on it, move on, forget about it. And faith would tell you, have faith. This is going to happen. This is going to work. Way will be made, when there was no way. Miracles will show up and amazing things will happen. And God's on your side, and God will give you every help you require. And God will provide the money, the finances, the resources, the people, the circumstances required for this manifestation to occur. Just hold on to faith, right? Just hold on to me. So there's an internal battle that we have all the time, fear, and between faith and fear. And what I noticed in my line of work, especially when it comes to money, and why so many people start off their entrepreneurial journeys and very few make it, it's not because very few have the talent or ability. In fact, most people that I've seen who failed have an amazing amount of talent, an amazing amount of ability. It's not their talent or skills or ability which was lacking. It was their faith. So before any great manifestation to occur, there's a period of darkness, there's a period of sadness, there's a period of silence, almost from divine energy, from the universe, from God, right? And I've seen this, and this is something that I remember my mother telling me about when I was really young. And she used to say, the darkest part of the night is just before dawn. Just before dawn. So just before your manifestation's about to appear, that's when things go really, really berserk and really out of control. And you think, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of this mess. It doesn't necessarily always have to happen, but especially when you have a great manifestation or great experiences on your way, or God's about to reward you in a big way, this usually happens then. And that is a time when you need to hold on to faith. You need to believe that miracles are going to happen. You need to expect miracles in the face of adversity. I've seen this time and time again. People are okay and great to hold on to faith when they can see some evidence of it, or when things are not as difficult. As soon as things become really difficult, they hold on to fear rather than faith. And they let go, and they think, oh, well, either God doesn't want me to have this, or, God doesn't help me, and universe doesn't help me. And they go into the victim mode. And that manifestation, which was so close, which was just about to happen for them, all of a sudden disappears because they've now leaned into fear and they've left it and they've gone on from there. I mean, using this example from another great, Steve Harvey's example of, you need to remain on the street of faith. A lot of the people, when the manifestation is about to be delivered to the doorstep, have now already moved out into the street of doubt. If you're in the house of doubt, in the street of doubt, you cannot receive your manifestation. That's exactly the point I'm making. So at any given moment in time, you have to expect miracles. And especially in the times when you just really can't figure out, how the hell is this going to happen for me? Where is the money going to show up? Where is the person going to show up from? Where is this going to, how I'm going to find a solution to this issue? That is a point when you hold on to faith and expect miracles. Expect the universe, expect universal energy, expect divine source energy, expect gods, expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, expect Brahma, expect Rama, expect Jesus, whoever you call out to, expect them to create miracles for you, and miracles will show up. But you have to show faith first. A lot of the times people will say, I'll have faith when I see it. This idea. And by the way, I'm not having a go at you, and I'm not telling you something that I haven't experienced myself. Keep in mind, my background is a lawyer. So as a lawyer, I have to see evidence of something before I can prove it, right? That's been ingrained into my DNA. I have to go against my logical brain. My natural instinct is to look for evidence before I believe in something. But when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to the supernatural, you have to have faith first before the manifestation appears, before the miracle shows up. You have to hold on to faith, and you have to hold on to faith in the face of no evidence. Right? So there are certain things in my life I have absolutely zero evidence of it happening or of it showing up. But guess what? My faith in that aspect of my life is 110%. I talk about it as if it's already happened. It's happened and I'm excited about it. And I don't talk about if, I talk about when. And I'm not worried whether it happens tomorrow, the day after, or in 10 years' time. Time is not irrelevant to me. I'm expecting miracles to show up in divine right timing. When the divine right time is there, that business that I want will happen. When the divine right time is there, the partner I want will happen. When the divine right time is there, the thing I want for my child will happen. When the divine right time is there, etc., right? Because I have various plans of various businesses. Some of them are in motion, and some of things are just still on the shelves, and I'm looking for a way to break through. I'm working on them. Right? But at the same time, I don't have faith in my ability as much as I have faith in divine source energy. So at times when I lack, and I feel like I'm lacking a skill set or an ability, or even sometimes courage, by the way, because something I really have the end of my tether. I don't know how far or how can I carry on. That's when I get my, then that's when I lean into faith and allow faith to carry me forward. I'm not perfect. I am far from it. And there are times when I am, broken down, and I'm thinking, okay, how do I move forward from it? How do I work ahead from it? How do I open this thing up? And how do I move forward? And there have been many examples, right? Keep in mind, for me, I wear various hats. I am first and foremost, I'm a mother, and I'm a single parent, so I have to make sure that my children are okay. And God forbid anything else happens, I have no family support, so I am the only one who can look after them. I'm also the main support for my brother. I'm also main support for some other people, in other parts of the world. So. And then I obviously being the CEO and team leader, so I am the leader of my company. So I have to make sure my team are taken care of. I wear various hats at different times. And if at any time emotionally someone's upset me, because I'm a very sensitive person too, if someone hurts me, upsets me, in terms of my family or whatever else, then I have to handle and manage my emotions while simultaneously taking care of everything else. And I have to be honest, there are times, especially I think recently what happened in recent times, where this close relative of mine, this aunt of mine, who I love and adored so much, really broke my heart. And she really, really did. And I allowed myself the space to cry over that relationship, to be upset over it, because for the life of me, I couldn't work out why she would behave in that way. I still can't. But it's no longer my issue. That's between her and divine source energy. But the point was, I have to lean into faith, and then that resulted in other things happening in my business, which wasn't favorable, so to speak. And then there's one of my businesses which is now taking a complete different direction, because the way it was working is not working anymore. So I had to change direction for that business. All of these things can be very overwhelming. Right? I'm not here telling you how everything's hunky-dory and my life is perfect and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to share that with you. I'm not going to give you false hope like that. Your life is going to come across obstacles. You're going to have issues to deal with. You're going to have things to deal with. But what I want you to say is talk miracles in your life. I am expecting miracles in all aspects of our life. I'm expecting the one business I'm talking about, one kind of direction where lead generation and the thing that we're working on the business is now closing. I'm expecting the lead generation to be 10x from the next lead source, for that business to go really sky high from December onwards. I'm expecting miracles to show up in the business. I'm expecting things amazing to happen. The other business that I'm looking into, it's a new area that I want to go into. I don't know how I want to break through, what kind of support I'll have, but I know I have universal energy. I have divine energy to support me. So I'm expecting miracles to show up in there, the right people to turn up to support me, to help me to build that business. And when it comes to miracles for my children, in terms of supporting them, I'm expecting miracles for them as well. I'm expecting miracles all the time in terms of my daughter's going to do her GCSEs this year. I'm expecting miracles for her grades in terms of what happens for her and, you know, how universal energy supports her. I'm expecting miracles for my son because of, you know, with the school I want him to go to, which, you know, we'll find out in December. But okay, here is something that I want to add into, using my son's example. So my son is currently in a very good school. He's in a private school, of course, and we are quite privileged for him to be in that school. It's a brilliant school. But there's another school that I went and saw, and he set the entrance exam for, and then we'll find out in December. I had my heart set on it because it's a brilliant school. So now I'm expecting on one hand miracles show up and expecting him to go into that school as well, right? However, I'm not attached to it. So I'm quite happy for him to stay where he is because he's in a fantastic school, and I can see the pros and cons of both schools as well. So even though I'm expecting miracles, I'm not married to the outcome. It doesn't have to happen for me to be fully satisfied. I'm quite satisfied. I'm quite happy if things are the way they are. And this happened last year when, even before my son had these places, we were through crazy mad times with 11 plus. For those of you who know the English system, know 11 plus is a complete nightmare. We went through that, but I was quite content with him going to a local state school. Even he didn't get into one of these elite elective schools. It didn't really matter. I wanted him to get into, but it wasn't going to break my heart because I wasn't married to the outcome. And then in the end, he did really, really well and going to all the schools, and we were able to choose a very nice one for him. And now for 13 plus, we're looking for that school that I'm talking about at the moment. But my point here being, I'm always expecting miracles. And I'm talking about this too. This is so important. You need to call these miracles out into your life. You need to say, thank you, God, or thank you, universe, for sending such amazing people into my life. Thank you, universe, for showing me this opportunity. Thank you, universe, for, you know, allowing my child to get such amazing grace. Thank you, universe, for allowing my son this ability, the privilege to study in such fantastic schools. Thank you, universe, for giving me great health. Thank you, universe, for bringing the right partner into my life. Thank you, universe, for making me so happy. Thank you, universe, for my $1 million business, or thank you, universe, for my 100K cash days. Thank you, universe, for my 7-figure business. Whatever you're manifesting, right? Expect miracles and talk miracles. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be in that zone all the time. This doesn't work that way. Anybody who tells you to be positive and be in that happy-go-lucky mindset 100% of the time is kidding you. That's not going to happen. But play the 80-20 rule. If 80% of the time you're in this high vibrational, really positive mindset and expecting miracles, great. Now, here's my point to you. The 20% of the time when you are low, when you are sad, when things do get overwhelmed, when things get too much, take a break. But if you want to, you can cry, and there's no harm in crying. And this is, I'm talking to you guys too, okay? So men, I'm talking to you too. There is absolutely no shame at all whatsoever in you crying, right? In you showing emotion, in you talking to universal energy and talking to God. I mean, I talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. And in my culture, in my religion, the best time to cry is when you're praying on the prayer mat. And actually the best time to cry is when you're doing sajda, when you're on your when you're on the floor with your forehead on the ground. Okay. We call that sajda when your head is on your forehead is on the ground. So the times that I cry the most is when I get overwhelmed and I get when I'm really upset about something, or I'm both times, by the way, when I'm really, really grateful, when I just have gratitude, which, overwhelms my heart, and I'm just overwhelmed with all the love and gratitude for divine energy. That's also when I cry. Again, I would go into sajda. I would go into, I would go, touch the forehead with my forehead on the ground and go into sajda, and I would cry out of pure gratitude. I would do that too. Simultaneously, if I'm upset, if things are too overwhelming and I feel lost and I feel upset, again, I will not verbalize the things I fear. I will not verbalize, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. I would say, Allah help me. Allah help me. And that's the most I will say at that moment. If I cannot say thank you, Alania, for my 7-figure business. Thank you, Alamia, for allowing my daughter to get this grace. Thank you, Alamia, for allowing my son to get here. Thank you, Alamia, for giving me my health. If I cannot verbalize the positive things, I will not verbalize the negative things either. if I am upset, if I'm overwhelmed, I would get on the prayer mat, I would pray, and I would do my sajda, and I would cry in my sajda, right? I would cry on the prayer mat. But outside of it, but that's 20% of the time, if that. Usually it's a lot less than that. I'm usually happy-go-lucky 90% of the time. So the 20% of the time when you are upset, it can be. Just don't verbalize your fears. Do not bring it into reality, because at that time you are highly emotionalized. And remember, your emotions pull those things into your reality. You do not want to pull the dark side into your 3D world. What you want to do is acknowledge the fact that you're upset, acknowledge the fact you feel overwhelmed, acknowledge the fact that you feel lost and you need help and support from universal energy, from divine energy, from God, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you go and pray to God, how you pray. If you're Hindu, go to the temple. And if you, depending on what God you go to, you can go speak to Kali Ma, you can speak to Durga, you can speak to Lakshmi, you can speak to any of the gods that you choose. If you're Christian, if you want to go and speak to Jesus, if you want to speak to Holy Spirit, go and do that. If you're from the Old Testament, you want to speak to Abraham's God, if you want to speak to, which is the same as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want to speak to God, go and do that. Go to synagogue, go to church, go to temple, go to mosque, go to wherever. And I don't go to any of these places, by the way, so I pray at home. I would go into my bedroom where I normally pray, and I would put my prayer mat and I pray, right? Speak to universal energy. And if you don't have any faith at all and you're atheist, that's entirely up to you. Then speak to whatever deity that resonates with you. But speak into faith, expect miracles, ask universal energy, God, to help you in that dark moment, in that sad moment, in that depressing moment, in that low moment of yours, and allow yourself the space to feel it without verbalizing, but come out of it very, very quickly. I talk about this quite a lot in my mastermind, when I tell people to feel the emotions, but come out. Feel the emotions, but come out. Feel the emotions, but come out. Right? You cannot stay in that dark moment. I don't stay in my sadness. I don't stay crying forever and ever and ever. I may do it for 5 minutes, half an hour or something else. But once I've let all the emotions out, I know universal energy, God has heard me. I'm okay. I'm content. I'm happy. And then I go on my merry way and I'm perfectly fine the next day. Right? One of the things like today, I woke up very late. For some reason, I woke up very late and I missed Fajr this morning. And I was really upset about it. Like, what the hell, I was really upset with myself. And then I thought, okay, you're not messed up. Forget it. I went and dropped my kids off to, my daughter to the station, my son off to school, came back, did Vazu, and I read Josh. Okay, so I made up for the Fajr prayer and I read Josh as well, which I normally read anyway. And I went and I carried on my normal day. Right? I didn't beat myself up about it. And tomorrow, recently I wasn't putting the alarm on. I was just naturally waking up for Fajr. I'll just make sure that I put the alarm on. So in case I, do oversleep, my alarm wakes me off. I don't like waking up to the alarm. It really bugs me. But I will make sure that this does this as a backup plan. Right? So this is so important. It really is, for you to understand you can speak miracles, but you need to expect them first and ask universal energy and for help when you are in your low moments. But you need to expect miracles. This is so, so important. If you are saying affirmations, but you're expecting the opposite to your affirmations, guess what's going to show up into your life? The opposite of your affirmations. The only thing that's going to show up in your life is what you're actually expecting. So start expecting miracles. Start expecting amazing things to happen for you. Start expecting blessings to show up for you. And I don't want things to be hard for you. I want things to be with ease and grace. So expect miracles to show up, blessings to show up, which is going to take you to the next level with ease and grace. If you're currently a 6-figure earner, it's going to take you to 7 figures or 8 figures with ease and grace. If you're single at the moment, it's going to allow you to meet your ideal partner with ease and grace. If you don't have children at the moment and you want children, universal energy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God's going to bring children into your life with ease and grace. Whatever you want, expect miracles. Expect miracles and allow miracles to happen for you. If you're expecting something other than what you're manifesting, then that is what's going to show up. And that's the point of today's podcast. I want you to understand this. Expecting miracles is essential for those miracles to show up. And if you think that I have no way out, well, God has a way out. I don't know how I'm going to get to 7 figures. Universal energy knows how to. I have no idea how I'm going to meet my ideal partner. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Okay, leave it up to God, leave it up to universal energy, leave it up to divine source energy. Allow yourself the space to say, you know what, I don't know, but universal energy, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jesus, they know. Let God know. Right? And just a disclaimer for those Muslims listening to me, I don't think Jesus is God. I'm just referring to those people who do believe Jesus is God. Okay, I believe Jesus is my prophet and I love him dearly because of it. Just a little bit of disclaimer. But anyway, ask whatever deity resonates with you and go and ask them for help. I would go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, and I do every single day, every time I pray. Every time I'm down, I go on my prayer mat and I pray, to the point my kids know. Okay, Mum's upset. Mum, do you want to pray? That's my kids. My kids will say this to me. They will remind me of that because they know how important that is for me. And I'm drumming this into their head. I'm drumming into yours today. Please, for the sake of your higher self, for the sake of all the goodness that can come to you, expect miracles and talk about those miracles. Expect them and verbalize them. Talk them into your life and ask, and expect God, divine source energy, to bring those miracles into your life with ease and grace. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I enjoyed talking about it. I will be back with another episode another time. Until the next time we meet, this is Gullkhan signing off. Take care and bye for now.